Okay, very very important. That example ఈ టాపిక్ నుంచి ఎక్కువ క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చింది. సో దట్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ క్వశ్చన్ డౌట్ లేదు. Now coming to innermost circle of thalamus, and this is the innermost coil of thalamus and innermost coil of essential organs, that is gynecium. So gynecium is a female sexual organ. This is a female sexual organ. Okay, present in innermost and fourth circle of thalamus is a female sexual organ. So this circle is also represented by some modified leaves. Such modified leaves present in gynecium, they are considered as carpels. They are called carpels, and these carpels are also called, already know other name for this carpels. What is the name? That is megasporophylls. Megasporophylls. Carpels are also called megasporophylls, and the stamens are also called microsporophylls. Stamens are the modified leaves of androecium, third circle, and carpels of megasporophylls are the modified leaves of fourth circle, that is gynecium. So there are some carpels. At the same time, number of carpels it may ranging from 1 to many. When the gynecium is represented by only one carpel, this is considered as monocarpellary. This is called monocarpellary. Gynecium with only one carpel, this is called monocarpellary. At the same time, the number of carpels it may ranging from either monocarpellary to multicarpellary, many, more than 2, many, multicarpellary. Okay, multicarpellary. So even gynecium is represented by some amount of modified leaves carpels or megasporophylls. This number of carpels in gynecium, it may vary from species to species. It may ranging from one carpel, that is monocarpellary, to many carpels, that is multicarpellary. Multicarpellary. For example, one of the best example for monocarpellary, some of the examples, pea and bean, they are examples. Only one carpel is there in gynecium, monocarpellary. And bi or dicarpellary, example solanum. Okay, 2 carpels are there. At the same time, tricarpellary, example allium cepa, onion. Allium cepa, onion. Tetracarpellary, this is arsenic. Tulasi antaru, tulasi, arsenic. And pentacarpellary, okay, this is hibiscus. Hibiscus. Penta means 5 carpels are there. And multicarpellary, multi, many, abutilon. Okay, this is the list of number of carpels in gynecium and relevant example. In this way, these carpels number may range from 1 to many, that is from monocarpellary to multicarpellary. Monocarpellary pea and bean, bi or dicarpellary solanum, tricarpellary allium cepa, onion, and tetracarpellary arsenium, pentacarpellary hibiscus rosea sinensis, and multicarpellary abutilon indicum. ఇవి ఒక్కొక్క ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం ఇక్కడ చెప్పుకుంటూ వచ్చాం. ఇవే కాదు, ఇంకా చాలా కూడా ఉండొచ్చు. మల్టీకార్పల్ ఇది ఒకటే కాదు, చాలా ఉంటాయి. ఒక్కొక్క ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక్కొక్క అని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఎవ్వే కార్పెట్, ఇన్ని ఉన్నాయని చెప్తున్నాం అక్కడ. ఎవ్వే కార్పెల్, దిస్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో రిప్రజెంటెడ్ బై 3 parts. One is ovary. and second one, this is style, and third part of the gynoecium, this is called stigma. There are total 3 parts. Every carpellus consists of 3 parts like this. This is ovary. Okay, this is gynoecium. This is gynoecium. Thalamus. This is ovary, and this is style, and this is stigma. Ovary is the basal part of the gynoecium. This is the most important part of the gynoecium, and basal swollen part of the gynoecium. Basal swollen part of the gynoecium. This is followed by style, very narrow tube-like structure present between ovary and stigma. Stigma is a small pin head-like structure. This is responsible for capturing, receiving. This is a receptor for pollen rays. So this stigma, it acts as a landing platform for pollen rays, and this stigma, it is a receptor surface for pollen rays. Has ability to receive some pollen rays and landing platform for pollen rays, and this is the receptor for pollen rays. This is the gynoecium. Similarly, when more than 2 carpels are present in any gynoecium, more than 2 or many, whatever it may be, these carpels may be remain free. They do not unite to each other. They remain free. For example, one gynoecium is represented by 10 carpels. 10 carpels, they do not unite to each other. 10 carpels, they are present in gynoecium individually. Such a gynoecium with free carpels, that is considered as apocarpous gynoecium. This is very, very important. Apocarpous gynoecium. Apocarpous gynoecium means there are more than 2 carpels, but all these carpels, they remain free. They do not unite to each other. Such gynoecium with free carpels is called apocarpous gynoecium. Some of the examples for this apocarpous gynoecium: rose plant and also lotus. They are examples. Okay, rose plant and lotus. Many carpels are there, but all these carpels, they remain free. They do not unite to each other. The condition of gynoecium with free carpels, that is called apocarpous gynoecium. This is example rose and lotus. But when more than 2 carpels are present in any gynoecium, sometimes all these carpels are united into a single ovary, single style, and a single stigma. Gynoecium with fused carpels, gynoecium with united carpels, that is considered as syncarpous gynoecium. Very, very important. Gynoecium with united carpels, that is called syncarpous gynoecium. Some of the examples for this syncarpous, one is tomato is one of the example, and also mustard, tomato and mustard. Okay, very, very important. What is apocarpous gynoecium? Give an example. What is syncarpous gynoecium? Give an example. Gynoecium with free carpels is called apocarpous gynoecium. Example, rose and lotus. Gynoecium with fused carpels, united carpels, that is called syncarpous gynoecium. Example, tomato and mustard. Similarly, every carpel is represented by the swollen basal part. This swollen basal part of the gynoecium, this is called ovary. This is a ovary, and this ovaries also consists of some chambers. Okay, these chambers are also called ovarian cavities. Cavities means chambers. Ovary, for example, this is a ovary, and there are total 3 chambers like this. 1, 2, 3. Ovary is also represented by some chambers. They are also considered as ovarian cavities. These ovarian cavities are also called locules. They are called locules. Locule means ovarian cavity, means chamber present inside the ovary. Such chambers or ovarian cavities are called locules. At the same time, just like these carpels, locules number inside the ovaries also vary from species to species. In majority of the members, number of carpels is equal to the number of locules. Number of carpels in most of the members, number of carpels is equal to the number of locules. Number of locules. However, there are some exceptions. Their carpels and locules number, they are not equal. There are some exceptions. But in most of the members, number of carpels is equal to the number of locules. ఒక్కొక్క కార్పెల్లో ఒక్కొక్క లాక్యూల్ ఇవి ఎన్ని ఉంటాయి అవి ఉంటాయి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ హైబిస్కస్ రోజా sinensis, total number of carpels 5 and the number of locules also 5. Pentacarpellary, pentalocular ovary. రెండు పేర్లు మనం మెన్షన్ చేస్తాం. Pentacarpellary, pentalocular ovary. But for example, in case of Abutilon, multicarpellary, multilocular ovary. In case of P and P, monocarpellary, monolocular ovary. Like that, number of carpels in most of the members is equal to the number of locules. However, there are some exceptions in which locules number is not equal to the number of carpels. For example, in case of Datura, okay? In case of Datura, number of carpels 2, but number of locules 4. Carpels and locules number ratio 2:4, that is equal 1:2 in case of Datura. This is one of the exception. కాబట్టి ఒకటో రెండో అలాంటి మొక్కలు తప్ప మిగిలిన అన్నింటిలో కార్పిల్స్ ఎన్ని ఉంటాయి, లాక్పిల్స్ కూడా అన్నీ ఉంటాయి. ఓకేనా? దిస్ ఇస్ లాక్పిల్స్. At the same time, these locules are also represented by a small cushion-like tissue. Cushion-like tissue. Okay? A small cushion-like tissue is there inside these locules. Every locule is represented by cushion-like tissue. Such a cushion-like tissue, that is called placenta. This is called placenta. Okay? Placenta. At the same time, this ovary is also represented by number of ovules. Okay? For example, this is ovary and locules. This is cushion-like tissue, and ovules are attached with this cushion-like tissue. This is cushion, and ovules are attached with cushion-like tissue. So, ovary is represented by some ovarian cavities, locules. Inside the locules, there is a cushion-like tissue. On the surface of this cushion-like tissue, number of ovules are attached in a systematic order. So, ovules found inside the ovary. Generally, these ovules, they are attached with this cushion-like tissue by a small stalk-like structure. A small stalk-like structure. For example, this is ovule, this is stalk. This is called funiculus. Ovule is attached with placenta. Ovules are attached in systematic order on the surface of placenta. ఇప్పుడు ప్లాజెంటా అంటే మనం ఎలా డిఫైన్ చేయవచ్చు అంటే the part of the ovary where the ovules are attached. The part of the ovary where the ovules are attached, such a part of the ovary is called placenta. It's nothing but a small cushion-like tissue. On the surface of cushion-like tissue, number of ovules are arranged in a systematic order. Such, the mode of arrangement of ovules, okay, very very important. The mode of arrangement of ovules inside the ovary, this is called placentation. This is called placentation. Very very important. Number of ovules are attached with this placenta inside the ovary, and these ovules are arranged systematically on the surface of placenta. Such mode of arrangement of ovules inside the ovary, this is called placentation. Very very important. Mana telusu, arrangement of veins in a lamina is called venation. Arrangement of leaves on the stem or branch, phyllotaxy. Okay, arrangement of flowers on peduncle, inflorescence. Arrangement of ovules on placenta is called placentation. In this way, there are total 5 types of placentations in plants. There are total 5 types of placentations. Okay, one, this is called marginal placentation. Okay, one is marginal placentation. Second one, this is called axial placentation. Okay, and third placentation, this is called parietal placentation. Parietal placentation. And fourth type of placentation, this is called free central placentation. Free central. And last modification, this is called basal placentation. Very, very important. Basal placentation. In this way, arrangement of ovules inside the ovaries are 5 types. Such arrangement of ovules is considered as placentation. Placentation in plants is 5 types. Now coming to one by one, this is a marginal placentation. Okay, so this marginal placentation, for example, this is ovary. Okay, this is dioecious ovary, style, stigma. So in marginal placentation, the placenta, it forms the ventral, a ridge along the ventral structure of the ovary like this. ఇక్కడ మనం ప్లాసెంటాని థిక్గా వేస్తాం. ఇది ప్లాసెంటా. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ dioecious ovary, style, stigma. Here placenta, it forms a ridge along the ventral structure of the ovary. Ventral structure means margin. Ventral ante kinda వైపు margin. ఇది పై వైపు dorsal. ఇది ventral. So this placenta, it forms a ridge along the ventral structure of the ovary, and on the surface of placenta, number of ovules are arranged in 2 vertical rows like this. Number of ovules are attached to this placenta in 2 vertical rows. This is considered as marginal placentation. Generally, this is present in P and bean. They are examples. P and bean, marginal placentation. Japanese, what is the position of ovules in marginal placentation? Along ventral structure of the ovary. Along the ventral structure of the ovary. Ventral structure of the ovary means the margin of ovary. So here, placenta, it forms a ridge along the ventral structure of the ovary, and many ovules are attached to this ridge and are present in 2 vertical rows. 2 vertical rows. మనం చూస్తాం బీన్, పీ, ఈ అలచందకాయలు అంటారు, గమనించారు పేరు, అలచందకాయలు. అలాగే పీ, బీన్, ఇక్కడ కొన్ని చూస్తున్నాం బ్లాక్ గ్రామ్, మినుములు, అంటే గ్రీన్ గ్రామ్, పెసల్. ఈ కాయలు గమనించారు ఎప్పుడైనా? ఈ కాయలు మనం ఎట్లా చీలిస్తే 2 భాగాలుగా వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. దీని మార్జిన్ వెంబడి కొన్ని విత్తనాలు ఉంటాయి, దీని మార్జిన్ వెంబడి కొన్ని విత్తనాలు ఉంటాయి. ఈ 2 జాయింట్ చేసినప్పుడు 2 ఒకే వరుసలోకి వస్తాయి. అవి దట్ ఈస్ మార్జినల్ ప్లాసెంటేషన్. ఎనీహౌ, ఇన్ దిస్ మార్జినల్ ప్లాసెంటేషన్, placenta, it forms a ridge along the ventral structure of the ovary, and many ovules are attached to this ridge in 2 vertical rows. Example P and B. This is one of the examples. And now coming to axial placentation. దీంట్లో పరిస్థితి ఎలా ఉందో చూడండి. Here, this is ovary, transverse section of ovary. Okay, this is placenta. Okay, జాగ్రత్తగా దీన్ని గమనించండి, వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. This is transverse section of ovary, locules. ఇవన్నీ ఏంటివి? చాంబర్స్, లాక్యూల్స్. and this placenta, it forms central axis inside the ovary. Central axis. Placenta, it forms the central axis inside the ovary. Basically, this is multilocular ovary. Multilocular ovary. ఇక్కడ లాక్యూల్స్ ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి చూడండి, 1 2 3 4 5 6 ఉన్నాయి. 6 అంటే మోర్ దెన్ 2, ఇక్కడ మోర్ దెన్ 5 ఉంటే మల్టీ అనొచ్చు మనం. 5 ఉంటే పెంటా అంటాం, మోర్ దెన్ 5 ఉంటే మల్టీ అనొచ్చు. సో బేసికలీ ఓవరీ ఇస్ మల్టీలాక్యులర్ ఓవరీ, అండ్ in a multilocular ovary this placenta, it forms the central axis, and many ovules are attached with this central axis. Many ovules are attached with the central axis. Okay, like this. This is placenta. In a multilocular ovary, placenta, it forms the central axis. మధ్యలో ఒక యాక్సిస్ ఉంటుంది. Many ovules are attached with this central axis. This is called axial placentation. Generally, this is present in Hibiscus rosea sinensis. Okay, and lady's finger, and also tomato, etc. అన్నిటి రకాలు మీరు లేడీస్ ఫింగర్ని గమనించవుతారు అలా. మనం లేడీస్ ఫింగర్ని మనం కట్ చేస్తే ఎలా వస్తుంది, కట్ చేసి గమనించదు ఎప్పుడైనా. మనం దగ్గర ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ సెక్షన్ ఇట్లా మనం స్లైసెస్ తీసినప్పుడు మనం ఎటు పెట్టి చూస్తే మధ్యలో ఒక నిలువుగా తీసామనుకోండి, ఇట్లాంటి యాక్సిస్ ఉంటుంది దానిపైన, దాని లోపల, దానిపైన ఓవిల్స్ ఇట్లా అతుక్కొని ఉంటాయి. దిస్ ఇస్ యాక్సిస్. ఇది లాంగిట్యూడినల్ సెక్షన్. మనం అట్లా ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ సెక్షన్ తీస్తే ఇలాగ ఉంటుంది. ఇది యాక్సిస్, ఇది లాంగిట్యూడ్. సో ఇన్ ఏ మల్టీలాక్యులర్ ఓవరీ, this placenta, it forms the central axis, and many ovules are attached with this central axis. This is called axial placentation. Example, Hibiscus rosea sinensis and lady's finger, and also tomato. They are the best examples. Now coming to the third one, parietal placentation. Very very important. Parietal placentation. దీని పరిస్థితి ఎలా ఉందో జాగ్రత్తగా గమనించండి. This is parietal placentation. Okay, parietal placentation. Lovely. So this is ovary. For example, this is also ovary. ఈ ఓవరీలో ఇవేం చెప్పండి, ఇవి గోడలు, అడ్డు గోడలు, సెప్టా అంటాం వీటిని. ఏమంటాం వీటిని? సెప్టా. There are some walls that separating the total ovary into some chambers. Cross walls present between the chambers inside the ovary, they are called septa, plural, septum, singular. So here, these are the septa inside this ovary. They are septa. Here, septa, they are not developed completely. Undeveloped septa. పూర్తిగా డెవలప్ కాదు. పూర్తిగా డెవలప్ అయితే ఎక్కడికి వస్తాయి? మధ్యలోకి వచ్చి టచ్ అవుతాయి. దీనిలాగా మధ్యలోకి వచ్చి టచ్ అవుతాయి. ఈ మూడు కనుక బాగా డెవలప్ అయితే పూర్తిగా మధ్యలోకి వచ్చి అన్నీ జాయింట్ అవుతాయి. కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఏమైందంటే సెప్టా, అన్డెవలప్డ్ సెప్టా ఆర్ ప్రెసెంట్ ఇన్సైడ్ ద ఓవరీ. అన్డెవలప్డ్ సెప్టా. నౌ ద ఓవిల్స్ ఆర్ అటాచ్డ్ విత్ దీస్ అన్డెవలప్డ్ సెప్టా లైక్ దిస్. Undeveloped septa like this. They are ovules. And what is the attachment of this ovules inside the ovary? Very very important. Last year exam adigandi, public need lo adigandi question. What is the position of ovary? What is the position of ovules in parietal placentation annadu onna question idi. 4 marks are question ki. Where the ovules are attached in parietal placentation anana. Ovules are attached with the undeveloped cross septa. Anna undeveloped walls. Anna inner layer of the wall, inner wall of the ovary. ఓవరీలోని లోపల వాల్ అతుక్కొని ఉన్నాయి అన్న ఒకటే. దే ఆర్ అటాచ్డ్ విత్ అన్డెవలప్డ్ క్రాస్ సెప్టమ్. ఓకే, ఓవిల్స్ ఆర్ అటాచ్డ్ విత్ అన్డెవలప్డ్ క్రాస్ సెప్టమ్. అలాగే దిస్ ఇస్ parietal placentation, undeveloped cross septa. Generally they are present in a cucumber. Okay, they are found in cucumber. Very very important. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి ఒకసారి, what is the attachment, what is the position of ovary where the ovules are attached in these three types of placentations? In marginal placentation they are attached with the ventral suture of the ovary. But what about in axial placentation? Attached with the central axis. But what about in parietal placentation? Attached with the undeveloped cross walls. Anna cross septa. Anna rendu okte. Walls anna septa anna rendu okte. Okay. But these parietal placentation, there is a specialized parietal placentation in some methods. There is a specialized placentation. For example, in case of argemone. Okay, in case of argemone, okay, and mustard, argemone and mustard. For example, this is ovary. Basically only one locule is present inside the ovary. Only one locule, no chambers. This is one locular ovary. Okay, due to formation of a false septum between inside the ovary. Basic గా ఓవరీలో ఒకే లాక్యూల్ ఉంది, ఒకే చాంబర్ ఉంది. But due to formation of a false septum, this is not a true septum. True septum means this is true septum and it is formed initially inside the ovary. But initially no walls inside the ovary. Entire ovary consists of only one locule. But later a false septum, pseudo septum, it looks like a septum, original septum, but it's not a true septum. Due to formation of a false septum inside the ovary, one locular ovary, it becomes bilocular. ఒక లాక్యూల్ ఉన్న ఓవరీ, ఒక ఫాల్స్ సెప్టమ్ గోడ, అంటే అది పెట్టనటువంటి గోడ, నిజమైన గోడ కాదు, అది ఒక గోడ లాంటి మెటీరియల్ అక్కడ ఏర్పడడం వల్ల యూనిలాక్యులర్ ఓవరీ ఇట్ బికమ్స్ బైలాక్యులర్. Unilocular ovary, it becomes bilocular due to formation of a false septum. A false septum in case of argemone and mustard. Here also cross walls చూడండి, ఇది ఇక్కడ అతుక్కొని ఉంటాయి ovules. ఇది కూడా వాలే అనుకోవాలి మనం. ఇట్స్ నాట్ రియల్ వాల్ బట్ వాల్ లైక్ స్ట్రక్చర్, pseudo, and ovules are attached with this pseudo. This is also a type of parietal placentation. Anyhow, in parietal placentation, ovules are attached with the undeveloped cross walls, inner wall of the ovary. Anna kuda right. And in case of argemone and mustard, unilocular ovary, it becomes bilocular due to formation of a false septum inside the ovary. That is in argemone and mustard. This is parietal placentation. This is also a type of parietal placentation because ovules are attached with the wall. Ovules are attached with the undeveloped wall, but it's not a true wall. ఏదేమైనా కూడా లోయర్ వాల్ ఓవరీలోనే అతుక్కొని ఉన్నాయి. This is parietal placentation. Now coming to the fourth one, this is free central placentation. Very very important. This is also a type of axial placentation initially. This free central placentation is also a type of axial placentation initially. Okay, for example, this is the axis, central axis, and all of them locules. Okay, okay, and many ovules, they are attached with the central axis. ఇప్పుడు ఈ రెండింటికి ఏమైనా తేడాలు ఉన్నాయా చెప్పండి? ఈ రెండింటికి ఏమైనా తేడాలు ఉన్నాయా? ఏం తేడా? రెండు ఒకటే. Initially, free central placentation is also a type of axial placentation. Okay, here central axis is there, here also central axis is there, and this is multilocular ovary, is also multilocular ovary. Initially both are similar, but in free central placentation, latter multilocular ovary, okay, multilocular ovary, it becomes unilocular. How is possible? Multilocular ovary, it becomes unilocular. How it is possible? How the multilocular ovary becomes unilocular? Which changes are required for the conversion of multilocular ovary to unilocular? Multilocular ovary లో అది యూనిలాక్యులర్ గా కన్వర్ట్ అయిందంటే లోపల ఏం జరిగితే కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుంది చెప్పండి? ఆల్ ద క్రాస్ వాల్స్ దే అండర్గో డిసింటిగ్రేషన్, డిసపియర్. ఈ వాల్స్ ఉండటం వల్లే అది మల్టీలాక్యులర్ గా ఉంది. ఇప్పుడు ఈ వాల్స్ నేను ఇక్కడ తీసేస్తున్నాను చూడండి, ఇలా చూడండి, ఈ వాల్స్ నేను మొత్తం తీసేసాను. ఓకే, వాల్స్ తీసేసాను. ఇప్పుడు ఏమని చెప్పండి? అది మల్టీలాక్యులర్ ఓవరీ, దిస్ ఇస్ unilocular ovary. But basically this is also multilocular ovary in initial stage, but later all the cross walls they disappear, all the cross walls they undergo disintegration. Because of the disintegration of all these cross walls inside the ovary, multilocular ovary it becomes unilocular, and only cross walls they disappear inside the ovary, but not central axis. Central axis is there. Now many ovules are attached with this central axis. ఇంకిదంతా ఏముంది? క్రాస్ వాల్స్. మధ్యలో ఏమున్నాయి? మధ్యలో ఇక్కడ ఏముంది? సెంట్రల్ యాక్సిస్ ఉంది. ఆ సెంట్రల్ యాక్సిస్ కు ఓవ్యూల్స్ అవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఈ రెండింటికి తేడా వచ్చింది. ఇనిషియల్లీ బోత్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్, బట్ how the precentral placentation it differs from axial placentation at its maturity? How it differs from axial placentation at maturity? This precentral placentation it differs from the axial placentation in the absence of cross walls. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి, what are the similarities between this axial and precentral? Similarities, both contain central axis, both contain many ovules attached with this central axis, both are both ovules attached with the central axis. But what is the similarity between this precentral and axial? In axial placentation, cross walls are permanent; they are present inside the ovule. But in precentral placentation, cross walls are temporary. Later, they undergo disintegration, so that multilocular ovary it becomes unilocular. That is the differences between axial and precentral, and similarities between these two placentations. Okay, initially precentral placentation is also a type of axial placentation. Here also central axis is there in a multilocular ovary, but later the walls undergo disintegration, so that a multilocular ovary it becomes unilocular ovary. Some of the examples for this precentral, this is a dianthus, okay, and primrose. Dianthus and primrose, very very important. Dianthus and primrose, they are examples for precentral. Okay, now coming to the last one, this is basal placentation, very very important. Here chudandi, this is the placentation that is represented by only one ovule inside the ovule. ఇక్కడ చూస్తే చాలా ఉంది, వీటన్నిటిలో చాలా ఉన్నాయి. This is one of the placentation that is represented by only one ovule inside the ovary. Only one ovule is there. For example, this is ovary. Identity ovary. In this basal placentation, base of the ovary it produce placenta. Placenta form the base of ovary. ఇక్కడ మనం షేర్ చేసాం, this is placenta. ఎక్కడ ఉంది placenta? At the base of ovary. And this is represented by only one ovule. This is ovule. This is ovary. And this is ovule. And what is this? This is placenta. So in basal placentation, placenta it forms the base of ovary, and only one ovule it is attached with the base of ovary, that is attached to the placenta. Some of the best examples for this one is this is Tridax procumbens. Tridents and sunflower. Okay, Tridents and sunflower. You know, these tridents and sunflower, they are also examples for one of the inflorescences, simple head inflorescence, and all of them they are also present in advanced family. What's the name of this family? Asteraceae. Asteraceae. So the basal presentation, this is characteristic feature of Asteraceae members like tridents and sunflower. Here, placenta, it forms the base of ovary, and only one ovule is attached to this placenta. This is called basal presentation. In this way, there are total 5 types of presentations in angiosperms. 1 marginal, pea bean. 2 axial, hibiscus, lettuce, finger and tomato. Parietal presentation, cucumber. Specialized parietal presentation in argemone and mustard. Pre-central presentation, dianthus and primus. And basal presentation, tridents and sunflower. Now coming to the last point, compare the position of ovules in all these presentations in plants. What is the position of attachment of ovules? Ovules are attached with the placenta. What is the position of placenta and attachment of ovules? What about the marginal presentation? Attached with the ventral suture of the ovary. Attached with the ventral suture of the ovary. 1. What about second one? Attached with the central axis of ovary. And what about parietal presentation? Attached with the undeveloped cross walls. Na inner wall of the ovary. Anna what write? Inner wall of the ovary. Anna write. Undeveloped septa. Anna write. Undeveloped walls. Anna write. Inner wall of ovary. Anta okay. But what about in pre-central presentation? Attached with the central placenta. రెండితో ఒకటే. కాకపోతే ఇక్కడ సెప్టా ఉన్నాయి, ఇక్కడ సెప్టా లేవు. And what about basal presentation? What is the position of ovule in basal presentation? Attached with the base of ovary. Okay? There are total 5 types of presentations. Okay?